I never thought I'd be in this position. A man like me, strong, disciplined, a provider, shouldn't have to deal with this kind of betrayal. But life has a way of humbling you, even when you're at the top of your game. I built myself from the ground up. I wasn't born with money or privilege, but I had a relentless drive. By my late 30s, I was running a successful construction business, employing dozens of men and making damn good money. I worked hard, lifted heavy, and made sure my wife Ashley never wanted for anything. She had the house, the car, the designer clothes. She didn't have to work, but she chose to, something about keeping her independence. Though in hindsight, I think she just needed the extra attention. I'd always thought Ashley was different. She wasn't just a pretty face, she was sharp, quick-witted, and fiery. I liked that about her. She challenged me. But somewhere along the way, something changed. She started going out more, dressing a little too nice for just dinner with the girls. And the phone, God, that fucking phone, always tilted away from me, notifications silenced, a look of guilt flashing across her face whenever I got too close. I'm not a fool. I don't need a damn GPS tracker to know when something's off. But I held back. Maybe because I wanted to believe she wouldn't do that to me. Maybe because I didn't want to admit that I'd been so blind. Then, last week, she dropped the bomb. I had just gotten home from a late job site visit, hands still dirty, sweat still on my back. She was sitting on the couch, looking at me like she was rehearsing lines in her head. It wasn't cheating, she said, real calm-like. It was a swapping party. Just an experience. I remember feeling my heartbeat slow, my breathing deepen. I stepped forward, towering over her, but she didn't flinch. It was pure coincidence that your father was there, she added. I don't remember throwing the lamp. I don't remember kicking over the coffee table, but I remember the sound of glass shattering, the way she gasped and jumped back. My old man, that piece of soot, had been in the same goddamn room at the same goddamn time as my wife. I walked out without a word. For hours, I drove. I didn't know where I was going, just away. Away from the house I'd built for her. Away from the memories that were now tainted. When I got back home, it was past midnight. She was asleep, or at least pretending to be. I went to my office, poured myself a drink, and sat and with my own father there. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my office, my fingers curled into fists so tight my knuckles turned white. The DNA test kit sat on the desk, sealed and ready to go. But the rage inside me wasn't just about Liam, it was everything. Every long night I spent breaking my back while she was out with her friends. Every time I came home exhausted, only for her to roll her eyes and tell me I worked too much. Every smirk from her father, that condescending fee who always said she could have done better. And my old man. That piece of such was barely in my life growing up. A drunk, a gambler, a man who thought fatherhood meant throwing a ball at me once in a while, before disappearing for months at a time. And now, after all these years, he was back in my life in the most disgusting way possible. I wasn't going to let this slide. Morning came. Ashley woke up late, probably assuming everything would blow over. I was in the garage, pounding my fists into the heavy bag, shirt off, sweat pouring down my back. I heard the door creak open. "Baby," she started, her voice hesitant. I turned, staring at her with dead eyes. "Don't call me that." Her lip quivered. "I know you're mad, but—" I stepped forward, forcing her to back up. "You think I'm just mad?" I scoffed. "You fed 10 guys in one night and had the audacity to tell me it wasn't cheating. And my Fing father was there. Are you out of your goddamn mind?" Her face twisted. "It was just an experience. You think this is some college experiment? You're my wife, the mother of my son, and now I don't even know if he's mine." Her face paled. What do you mean?" I smirked, holding up the DNA test envelope. "Guess we'll find out soon enough." She lunged for it, but I grabbed her wrist midair and pushed her back. "Nah, you don't get to stop this. You don't get to control this." Her face twisted in anger. "You're acting crazy." "Crazy? You haven't seen crazy yet." I left the house before she could say another word. I had bigger things to deal with. First stop, the gym. Needed to clear my head. I was already seeing red, and I knew if I didn't burn some of this rage off, I'd do something that'd put me in handcuffs. I went 12 rounds with the heaviest bag in the gym, barely feeling the pain in my fists. Then I drove, straight to my father's place. I banged on the door hard enough to rattle the damn hinges. A few seconds later, the door cracked open, and there he was, my old man, Mark fucking Callahan. Gray-haired, still built like an old war dog, but with the same smug look he'd always had. "Hey, son!" My fist cracked into his jaw before he could finish the sentence. He staggered back, grabbing his face. "What the fuck?" I stepped inside, slamming the door behind me. "You think I'd let you get away with it?" He wiped blood from his lip and smirked. "So, you found out, huh?" Another punch, this time to his gut. He wheezed, doubling over. "You sick fuck. You knew she was my wife." He coughed, laughing through the pain. "Kid, you think this is the first time?" The air in my lungs turned to ice. I grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against the wall. "What the hell are you saying?" He grinned through bloody teeth. "You work too much, boy. Someone had to keep her company." Everything went black. I don't remember what happened next, but when I came back to reality, I was standing over him, my knuckles split open, blood on the floor. He was groaning, barely conscious. I stood there, breathing heavy. Then I spit on the ground next to him. "You're dead to me." I turned and walked out. Tomorrow, their lives would change forever. And I wasn't done yet. I drove back home, my mind racing, hands still shaking from pounding my father into the ground. The betrayal sat in my stomach like a lump of molten lead. Ashley was waiting for me in the kitchen. She must have seen the blood on my knuckles because her eyes widened in fear. "What did you do?" she whispered. I didn't answer. Just walked past her, grabbed a beer from the fridge, and popped the cap off with my teeth. I took a long swig before turning to her, eyes cold. "Sit." She hesitated. "Sit down." She obeyed. "You're going to tell me why," I said, my voice dangerously calm. Her arms folded, that defensive posture she always took when she knew she was in deep sit but wanted to act like she wasn't. "I already told you." "Not that bolst." I slammed the beer bottle down so hard the countertop cracked. "I want the truth, Ashley. You owe me that much before I tear your effing world apart." She exhaled sharply, rubbing her forehead. I don't know. It just happened." "Bullshit." "It was exciting, okay? Jesus, is that what you want to hear?" Her voice cracked. I felt wanted, desired. I felt alive. I leaned forward, fists on the table. "And I didn't make you feel that way?" "You did," she admitted, eyes darting away. "But not like that. Not like new. I was a wife, a mother, the woman waiting at home while you worked your ass off. And you were too strong, too perfect. I never felt like I could shake you." I frowned. "What the fuck does that even mean?" She bit her lip, hesitating. Then she laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You were like a fucking rock, okay? Untouchable. Nothing rattled you. I was drowning in your perfection. I felt small next to you. So you decided to throw everything away? For some cheap thrill?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "Yes." I stared at her, unblinking. She wouldn't even look at me. It was never about love. Never about some deeper emotional connection with another man. She wanted chaos, a rush, the danger of the forbidden. She wanted to feel powerful. Well, now she was going to feel powerless. I walked upstairs, grabbed my laptop, and sat down in the living room. Ashley stood there, arms crossed. "What are you doing?" "Ending you." Her face paled. "What? You wanted excitement, didn't you? A rush? A thrill?" I smirked. "Well, here it comes." I opened my emails and sent copies of the pictures and videos the private investigator had given me to every contact I had. Her boss, her parents, my parents, our friends, Liam's school board, the HOA, even the effing church group she used to go to. Ashley shrieked, "Stop!" I didn't. She lunged for me, trying to snatch the laptop, but I was faster. I stood up, towering over her, and she stumbled back. "That's just the beginning," I said, my voice ice. "Tomorrow, I file for divorce. You get nothing." You can't do that," I grinned. "You think I don't have a prenup? You think I didn't protect myself?" I leaned in. You're walking away with whatever you had in your bank account this morning, which, by the way, is about to be zero, because I just froze our joint assets. She gasped. Oh, and since I know you're worried about Liam, I pulled a second envelope from my pocket and threw it on the table. Paternity test results. He's mine. Relief flickered across her face. But you'll never see him again. She shook her head. Number, no. You can't do that. A judge, I cut her off. A judge will take one look at the evidence I have and hand me full custody. Do you think a court is going to let a woman who participated in a goddamn swapping party with her father-in-law keep custody of her kid? I let the words sink in, watching the horror dawn in her eyes. Oh yeah, I made sure to mention that little detail in the documents. She collapsed onto the couch, her breath ragged. And one more thing, I added, grabbing my keys. I suggest you pack your set before I get back. Because this house, it's mine. You're ruining my life, she whispered. I laughed. No, Ashley, you ruined it yourself. And with that, I walked out, slamming the door behind me. Tomorrow, her nightmare would really begin. I didn't go far. I parked a few blocks away, just sitting in my truck, letting the rage simmer down into something sharper, something cold. Ashley thought she could just cry and guilt her way out of this, that she could make me feel bad for her. Number, I was about to make her pay. I called my lawyer first, told her everything. The infidelity, the swapping party, the DNA test, the involvement of my own father. She nearly choked on her coffee. Jesus Christ, this is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard, she muttered. You have proof? Photos, videos, witnesses if needed. Good. You'll get everything you want in court. But listen, we need to move fast, before she gets a lawyer of her own. I already knew that. Ashley was the kind of woman who played dumb until she realized she was losing. Then she'd fight dirty. I wasn't going to give her the chance. I filed for full custody that afternoon. I filed for sole ownership of the house under our ironclad prenup. And I filed for a restraining order because, guess what? I had security footage from our driveway showing her leaving the house drunk multiple nights, with Liam still inside. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about making sure she never had the chance to crawl back into my life. Then I made the nuclear move. Ashley always cared about one thing more than anything else. Her reputation. I logged onto Facebook, and I posted everything. I didn't rant, I didn't curse. I kept it simple. A few pictures, a few messages, and one single sentence. I worked myself to the bone to give my wife the perfect life, and in return, she slept with 10 men at a swapping party, including my own father. Divorce is coming. If you still support her after this, I don't want you in my life either. Then I sat back and watched the world burn. Within minutes, my phone exploded. Texts, calls, voicemails, messages from people I hadn't talked to in years. Her parents, her friends, even her goddamn boss. I ignored most of them, but one caught my eye. My father, Mark Callahan. You went too far, boy. Take that post down. Now I smiled and replied, or what? Gonna fuck my next wife too? Blocked. When I got back home that night, Ashley was gone. The house was dark, but Liam's room was still warm. I sat on his bed watching him sleep, his little chest rising and falling. My son, my blood. He deserved better than her. He deserved better than all of them, and I was going to make damn sure he got it. I woke up to chaos. Ashley had gone nuclear too. By morning, my Facebook post had over 30,000 shares. It had been picked up by gossip forums, relationship blogs, and even a few local news sites. People were talking, people were digging, and then someone found the party photos. Not just the ones from my investigator. No, worse. Someone had leaked high-resolution pictures from inside the actual event. Ashley, my father, the other men, the proof. I didn't post them. I didn't have to. The internet tore her to pieces. Her parents disowned her. I got a call from her father, William, that afternoon. The same arrogant fuck who had always looked down on me, his voice was shaking. We raised her better than this, he muttered. I almost laughed. Did you? They wiped their hands of her immediately. Cut her off financially, erased her from family gatherings, even removed her from their will. To them, she was a stain, and rich people don't like stains on their perfect image. Her boss fired her. Ashley worked in marketing, and guess what? Her entire brand was built on being classy and family-oriented. So when clients started threatening to pull contracts because of the scandal, her company panicked. They sent out an email that afternoon. Effective immediately, Ashley Callahan is no longer employed with us. We do not condone the personal choices she has made and how they reflect upon our company values. Cold, ruthless, beautiful. She tried to fight for Liam, but lost. Our court date came fast. Too fast for her to build any defense. My lawyer walked in with a goddamn arsenal. The swapping party photos, proof of neglectful behavior, the security footage. Testimonies from her own parents, stating she was an unfit mother, evidence that she was now unemployed and financially unstable. Ashley sat there shaking as the judge handed me full custody. She begged. She cried. "Please," she whispered. "He's my son, too." I leaned in. Not anymore. She became a joke. Her friends abandoned her. No one wanted to be seen with her. People whispered when she walked into stores. Online, she became a meme. Everywhere she went, people knew her as the woman who slept with her father-in-law at a swapping party. The humiliation broke her. One night, months later, she called me. I picked up, more out of curiosity than anything else. She was slurring her words. Drunk. "I have nothing," she sobbed. "No job, no friends. I can't even get a fucking date because every man in the city knows what I did." I let the silence stretch. Then, calmly, I said, "You wanted excitement, Ashley. You got it." Click. Blocked. Final update. Liam is happy, healthy, growing up strong. I rebuilt myself, found a woman worthy of me. And Ashley, she disappeared. Last I heard, she moved to some Suthol town 2 states away. A nobody. A fitting end. She wanted a rush. She got ruined. It's been a year. A full year since I torched Ashley's life. Since I took everything from her the way she tried to take everything from me. You'd think that time would cool my anger, but no. Some betrayals don't fade. Some scars don't heal. And Ashley? She didn't just betray me. She humiliated me. She let me raise a son while wondering if he was mine. She destroyed our family, our marriage, our entire damn life. All because she wanted a fucking thrill. She wanted chaos. Well, she got it. Where is she now? She ran, disappeared. After the divorce, after losing custody of Liam, after being blacklisted from every decent job within a 100-mile radius, she packed up what little she had left and left town. I didn't care where she went. But the world has a way of keeping me informed. Every so often, someone sends me an update, a Facebook post, a news article, a picture of her looking like absolute saint in some rundown bar 2 states away. She's nobody now. A washed-up, broke, lonely mess who barely scrapes by on Sati waitress jobs. She jumps from apartment to apartment, never staying in one place long. No friends, no family, no Liam. Just a reputation that follows her everywhere. We thrived. My son is growing strong. He doesn't ask about her anymore. He doesn't need to. I worked my ass off to make sure he never felt her absence, that he never missed a single school event, never lacked for anything, that he grew up knowing that his real parent was always there. And as for me, I moved forward. I rebuilt. I found a woman worthy of me, someone strong, loyal, real, someone who didn't see me as just a provider, but as a man worth standing beside. Ashley became a stain I wiped clean. The final nail in her coffin. One day, out of nowhere, I got an email. From her. It was short, simple. "I miss Liam. Please just let me see him. Just once." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I deleted it. No reply. No mercy. She made her choice. And she would live with it forever. She wanted chaos. She got ruined. And me, I got justice.